started. I'm Dr. Celeste Owens, author, speaker, and leader of the Global Surrender Movement. This is the Surrender Break Room. This is a place you can come in, relax, regroup, and then re-engage the world with a whole new perspective. I'm here on YouTube Live. This is brand new for me. I got to make sure we get our Periscope family over here to hang out with us, but it's always good to do something new at the top of the year. So I'm excited to be a part of this experience with you. So we're talking about consistency as the key to your success. So again, this is the Surrender Break Room. It's a place you can come in, relax, regroup, and then re-engage the world as you leave this YouTube Live with a whole new perspective. So I love that some of you in the chat are saying, you need this. Yes, I needed it too. And I've been able to live this thing out. And it just blessed me even to go back and to study it again. So I say that consistency is doing something over and over again, whether you want to or not. So put that in the chat. Consistency is doing something over and over again, whether you want to or not. It's not about your feelings. It's not about, I think today is a good day to do that. It's sunny out. I'm going to do it. Oh, it's raining. I don't want to. No, consistency is doing something over and over again, whether you want to or not. Another definition I found online is focusing on the task at hand in the present moment while maintaining a long-term vision. That is so important. Focusing on what you're doing right now that you need to do each and every day while maintaining a long of it. Like, what will this look like in the future? Why am I doing this today when I don't want to? And it's very boring. Why am I doing this again? And then just thinking about that long-term goal. But consistency, again, you guys, we're talking about being the key to your success. You got to become consistent. Many set goals. So many people know how to set goals. And, we're in the top of the year. You got all kind of goals flying around, all kind of, I'm going to do this and that. This is going to be my year. I'm going to get whatever that long list of things are. And not to say that you cannot do them, but only about 8 to 10% of people who set New Year's resolutions actually fulfill them. You know why? Not because it's too hard. It's because they haven't decided that it's worth the effort and they're going to do it consistently over and over and over again. And sometimes, let me say, sometimes people set goals that are too broad for them to really feel that they can stay consistent with it. So it's good to take those things in smaller chunks. However, you heard me saying smaller chunks. That means you have to be consistent. You're taking a smaller chunk and then you keep going and you keep doing it. So anybody can set a goal, right? Anybody can set a goal. Anybody can actually write out steps to achieve that goal. Some people even go as far as to start some of those steps, but most people don't finish it. And that's because they're not willing to do it. So consistency leads to habits. I got this off the website. I didn't come up with this. I wish I would have made this up because this is so cool. Consistency leads to habits. Habits form the actions we take every day. Actions lead to success. Again, consistency leads to habits. Habits form the actions we take every day. Actions lead to success. Isn't that good? Action. You got to do something. That means you got to be consistent. Tony Robbins, who's like famous public speaker, says, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. I'm telling you, it's not what you do once in a while. Oh, I'm going to do this 1 or 2 times. Oh, I'm going to go and do a green smoothie for 2 days. And then I don't want to do it anymore. Or, whatever that resolution is. No, it's what you do over and over and over and over. It's what you do consistently over and over again. So to master anything in life, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to really become effective in being consistent. So to master anything in life, it takes showing up and it takes practice. Every time it takes showing up and it takes practicing a lot. Showing up and practicing a whole lot, like a lot. And they say in order to become an expert in something, I don't know if you guys heard this. So I know you guys are hanging out with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Pop in the chat if you heard how many hours, I won't see if anybody was going to get this right. How many hours of practice, a whole lot. How many hours does it come by research. Research has shown this. How many hours do you have to do something to become an expert in it? I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that. How many hours do you have to do something over and over again to become, quote unquote, an expert or a master at it? Anybody know? Come on, chat. I'm going to tell you in a minute. If you just take a guess, how many hours? How many hours are you? Yeah, right there. Listen to me. Put your hours. How many hours you think it takes? 90 days? Nah. 504 hours? Nah. Man, I wish you could master something in 504 hours. I'm not sure why that number, 504, is such an unusual number, right? 504 hours. No, it takes 10,000 hours. Oh, ding, ding, ding to Marsha, you guys. It takes 10,000. And ding, ding, ding to you, whoever is watching, and you popped it into the chat. If you got 10,000, kudos to you. It takes 10,000 hours. I remember I was reading something. I like to read up on people who have been successful in the things they do. And I was reading up on Bill Gates. I was reading about Bill Gates, and I think he might have been the first one I heard talk about this whole 10,000 hour things. And then I went back and looked at it, and then they started talking about Michael Jordan and some of these other people who started really early and started doing something over and over and over and over again. It's like 10,000 hours. So I was reading something that Bill Gates was talking about, and he mentioned how he started doing computers when it was way back before no one had a laptop or anything like that. It was like a mainframe or whatever those things are. And he was like a teenager, was not doing good in school, would leave, and somebody allowed him to come to their whatever office or whatever to use it. And he would stay from the time school let out all the way till they kicked him out at night. And then he would go back, and then he would stay all weekend, like all day, all weekend. He started as a teenager. And now look what he's done. I mean, like Microsoft, hello. So 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. Michael Jordan, same deal. He's like, yep, 10,000 hours, pretty much. He was up every morning before school. He was at it after school, all through the weekends. I know you guys are like, oh my goodness, I don't have that kind of time right now to put into something. But you know what? Just be consistent. I'm not telling you to do whatever that goal is for 10,000 hours before you can get any success in it. Just be consistent, okay? So let me jump right in. Here, I'm going to give you 4 tips to develop consistency. Are you excited about that? Would you put that in the chat? 4 tips to develop consistency. That's what we're going to do. 4 tips. And I want somebody to type them out. 4 tips to develop consistency. Tip number 1, set some reminders. Like when you first start something, it's not a habit yet. And I love that Stephanie was talking about creating a habit is 21 days times 24 hours. I like that. That's cool, but it does. They do say to pick up a habit, it takes about 21 days to pick it up. It could take even more days, to make it indeed a habit for life. But they say it takes about 21 days. So set yourself a reminder, okay? Number 1, set a reminder to do it. Set it on your phone. Let another person be your reminder if they're super duper reliable. Whatever it is, just set yourself a reminder. If you plan to write, so I'm a book doula and I help people produce their books and have a tremendously fun time doing that. But one of the things I tell them, pick a consistent time to write. Don't just be all willy-nilly, I'll do it today. Nope, it won't happen. I promise you, it'll be 10 o'clock at night. You're like, oh my goodness, I forgot. Set a time, set your alarm, do it, be consistent. I remember when I wanted to write a book and I was like, I want to write a book. And I didn't know that it really takes, it's not that you not necessarily a good writer, but it takes a skill to go from speaking to writing. You actually, when you write, and this is just a free tip for you guys, when you write, you actually use less words than when you speak. So I remember the Washington Post had given me an opportunity to write as part of this column where they were talking about success. It might still be there. It was on success. And they had a group of us who were writing on a topic, and they would just throw out a topic, and then we would just write on that particular topic. I was petrified because there was this one woman, and there were a couple of them, but the one woman in particular was phenomenal and hitting the points and writing on it. And I was like, oh man, this lady is so good. But I remember I was writing some of them. And then one of my friends, without me asking, was like, I need to offer you some advice on the things that you're posting on the Washington Post. And she like cut up one of my write-ups. And I was like, excuse me, what? And she was like, you are writing like you speak. You're using too many words and no one can really get the gist of what you're saying. I'm like, oh, that was the best advice ever. So I had to keep writing. So I would write for the Post, and then I started writing a blog. And then eventually I wrote books with an S, because it just takes consistency. If you want to be a writer, you gotta keep what? Writing. You gotta keep writing. Become good at it. So set your reminders to do that and get up and write. If you want to run a half marathon or a marathon or even a 5K, what an accomplishment that would be. Then that means you got to get up and do what? Run. What? And you might start with walking. I remember before I knew how to run, I would start with walking, but I had to do it consistently. I had to set a reminder every morning, get up, go do it, whether it's snowing. And really, seriously, I was running in the snow. If it's snowing, if it's raining, get up and do it. And then you become consistent, and then you run a 5K, and then you run another 5K, and then you run a half marathon. I'm telling my own story. What? I was thinking that I could put on my bucket list to run a marathon, and then COVID-19 happened, because I really was seriously thinking about running a marathon in 2020. And COVID-19 happened, and I wasn't even mad that I couldn't run it, because I would just put it out there. I just threw it out there. And then DMV Stan, who typically comes on here, was probably going to hold me accountable because I put it out there and he saw me. Then I didn't have to do it. But I think one of these days I will. I'm going to do that. Number 2, allow for mistakes. Number 2, allow for mistakes. When you get a mistake, just correct it. Don't say, oh, I made a mistake. Now I don't want to do it. Never mind. I made a mistake. I don't want to do it anymore. No, correct for it. Don't quit. Correct for your mistake. Just like I was writing for the Post and my friend cut the whole Post write-up I made up like crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, wow. You're telling me I'm terrible at this, so I should stop. That was my first thought. I'm like, no. That means make some improvements. Do something different. So just if you make a mistake, what? Just keep moving. Just keep going. Just keep it going, you guys. Keep being consistent. Keep being out there. If you guys want to start a YouTube channel, like I started so many years ago on Periscope, if you just want to, and now I'm starting all over again on YouTube. Did I not say make sure you like, comment, and subscribe? I'm going to say it again at the end. But please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because now I'm on YouTube, and that's just what you say when you're on YouTube, right? So, but it takes consistency. So when I started Periscope, you guys, I had no followers. I had nobody follow me on Periscope. I ended Periscope with over 20,000 followers there. And now it's time to leave and start all over again here. And I have like 500 and something followers. And my endeavor is to have 1,000 by the end of January. So I have like 2.5 weeks for another 450 plus followers to come hang out with me on YouTube. So do you think I'm just going to stop? No, I'm going to keep coming on. I actually have a special announcement this Friday. So make sure you come back on this Friday. I have a special announcement. I just don't want to forget to say that. So I'm going to say it now. Anyway, don't quit. Just keep going. I don't care if only 2 people come and hang out with you on your YouTube. I don't care if you don't get any likes or thumbs up. Just keep going. Eventually people will, because people gravitate to consistency. Like, oh, you really mean it. Like, you're not going to quit on me. Oh, okay, let's come hang out with you. Just go for it. Number 3, give yourself time to see the changes. Give yourself time to see the changes. For example, I turned 50 last year, and maybe even before 50, but it really became super noticeable after 50 that I was getting like this little pooch. Is that what you call it? Pooch, pouch? I don't know. I've always had a flat stomach, not in a bragging way, just a matter of fact. And I started getting, I was like, OMG, what is wrong? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. First, and I was like, I can't complain to Endel, because if I complain to Endel, when you complain about something to Endel, he thinks you want him to fix it. I was like, no, I can't say anything to Endel. But it's so funny. I was wearing a shirt that he had bought me. He buys me like these cute little fitted t-shirts. And he was like, maybe I should have, did I get the right size? I was like, boy, you don't ask a woman, did you get the right size t-shirt? So, number 3, give yourself time to see changes. So, you know what I had to do? First of all, I figured out an oil. You know, I always got an oil for that. Oils that break up body fat. So, I made myself this little concoction with some grapefruit and some doTERRA Slim and Sassy oil. Made myself a little concoction, started rubbing on my belly. Then, about a few days later, I was like, that's not going to be enough. You're going to have to do the work. You're going to do the work. So, I started doing crunches. So like a month into it now, you guys, I actually see definition in my stomach. I'm like, what? So every day putting on my oil blend, every day doing 100 crunches, whether I want to or not. Because half of them days I ain't want to. I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this again? I don't even look no different. Why I'm doing all these crunches? This is annoying. And then one day, look in the mirror and I'm like, do I see a 6-pack trying to develop? Not really, but I do see some definition. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna be beach ready whenever the beaches open back up again. Right? I'm gonna be beach ready. So give yourself time to see the changes and the benefit of your effort. Give yourself time to see it. It might take 30 days, 60 days, a year. Who cares? Keep going because you're gonna get the benefit. Okay. Lastly, number 4, and I'm done. And I'm out of your hair. Number 4, get a coach. What? Get a coach. Get a coach. Get a therapist. If you have some things in the past that are really keeping you from moving forward and being your best self, get a coach, get a therapist, whatever that takes. But don't just be, don't just sit, and don't just wait for something to change. Let someone else assist you. Let someone else take you through the journey, maybe that they've been through or whatever, or they are trained to take you through it, but get someone to do that. So again, I told you I'm a book doula. So I coach people into writing their books. I coach people other ways as well, you know, through different life challenges and things like that. I coach them through that. Get someone good to coach you, to hang out with you, to take you through the journey so that you can become consistent in that thing that you're striving to do. Okay. Thank you. You guys are the best in the chat. You're like putting in the title, you're putting in the steps, you're saying yes. Say yes to your best life. That's all you got to do. Show up, say yes to your best life by being consistent. Can I get a show of hands in the chat? Show of hands. Who's really going to take this to heart and think of one thing, you guys, that you need to be consistent on. Take this to heart and be consistent on it for 30 days. Show of hands, really, seriously. I'm not just making this up. Like, really, seriously. Show of hands. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. She's like, yeah, me. So pick your one thing. Like right now, while we're sitting here, we got like 30 more seconds. Pick one thing that you're going to be consistent on. You got the one thing in your head? The one thing. I don't care if it's going to make sure you go take a walk every day, some type of, again, workout, writing a book, spending more time with a loved one, reading a book to your child, whatever it is, put your hand up, 30 days. Being nicer at work. I don't know what it is. Yes, I see you guys. Would you even go a step further to say what that thing is? I'm gonna give you another 30 seconds. So I see you guys got your hands up. Yep. Yay. In the chat, responding. I see you. Can you say what that thing is? Like, is someone brave enough to say what that thing is? Because then, you know, when it's in the chat, we're going to hold you accountable. But anyway, what is that thing? So I love it. Dr. Tony, Tawanda, Janice, Sean, all of you guys are saying you're going to do it. Exercising. I love it. I just needed one person to be brave enough to put what that thing is. Roxana said it. I'm going to exercise. So then you say, I'm going to exercise. Let's just use her example. I'm going to exercise. She's going to set herself a reminder, correct? She's going to allow herself to make mistakes. I said I was going to exercise for 30 minutes and I just did 20 minutes a day, but I messed up because I forgot I had that meeting. That's okay. Doesn't mean I'm going to quit from now on. That means tomorrow I'll just get out and make sure I manage my time better. Give yourself time to see the changes. She's going to give herself time to see the change. I told her to do 30 days. You'll feel better even in just 30 days. And if you need a coach, there are tons of coaches available for walking. You can get an app that tells you how many steps you walk. I do that all the time because I love to compete against myself. You can get, there's like all these run organizations that do virtual runs and walks, not even just runs, I'm sorry, just walks. You can do if you're going outside. You can get some type of video that you watch inside your house if you just want to do some type of movement inside your house on your TV. Those could be your coaches. So you see how fast, easy and fast I was able to do that? 4 steps for Roxanne, who's going to be exercising, how she's going to be able to do it. We got Marcus writing a blog every month. We got Sean spending more time in prayer. We got someone, Marsha, stretching and exercising. What are you going to put in the chat? You were looking at this a little bit later. I'm going to respond to you in the chat. What are you going to put in the chat as your thing that you're going to do for the next 30 days? Can't wait to see what you put there. I'm excited. Love it. So you guys got it. So let's make it happen. Let's do the thing. So I love that you come in every single week on Tuesday, 9 a.m. I'll be here hanging out with you guys in the Surrender Break Rooms.